And so let's start with what is ambiguity. And so acting and making decisions without complete information is ambiguity, and adapting to that change is critical for you. Working without complete direction, imagining what's possible in an uncertain future, and knowing when to change your mind is key to dealing with ambiguity. They're critical competencies that are no longer just reserved for leadership and the executive floor. As we said before, because we don't know what's going on, even line members are going and trying to figure out what's going on. And so the team that you lead, because I don't like the term subordinates, the team that you need lead are dealing with this ambiguity. And so it's not easy to tackle this topic head on when it comes to what's going to happen, because people don't know. And so you will save a lot of wasted time and emotional energy for your team, and you'll prepare your team for the larger roles that are processed if you can get a handle on handling the ambiguity and lead properly. So in ambiguous times, it's important that you connect on a human level. You should be connecting on a human level on a day to day, but even more critical during the times where people don't know what's going to happen from day to day, where people have families and livelihoods that now they see disappearing or potentially disappearing. So you want to understand what your team is thinking. You want to understand what your team is feeling. You want to understand what is going on with them and let them know that you have their best interests at heart. Because a lot of times when things happen, the first thing that team members think, or people that you work with think that you lead, is that they don't really care about me. I'm just a number. So they'll start acting that way, and they'll start presenting themselves in that way, and it will affect the outcomes that you have. So the first thing you want to do before you even address your team is to start with your own tolerances and your own reactions to things. So you want to always start with you. In times of uncertainty, you don't lead to your shining moments of leadership and brilliance, and you want to acknowledge that. Let me just say that again, just to make sure it's clear. In times of uncertainty, it's hard to lead with brilliance and that total confidence that everything is going to work out well. So, what you do is you talk to a business coach, a trusted advisor, or a colleague that you can trust, that you can talk to, and talk to them about how you feel about the change, about the ambiguity, and help them help you. Talk to them about what your plan is, and how to work on your emotions, and do your freak out in private. Don't freak out in front of your team. I've seen leaders, when I worked in corporate and even as a business coach, do that, and you're freaking out in front of the team, having temper tantrums. I like to call them, in front of the team, having meltdowns in front of the team, and is just counterproductive. So you want to make sure that you get your A game together and your attitude together before you present yourself to the team. Number 2, be crystal clear on what you're clear on. A lot of times with leadership, because things are ambiguous, they are unclear on everything. And so you want to make sure that you are clear to your team and present to your team the things that are clear, the things that you do have, that are solid. So it's easy to feel like everything is uncertain when things are ambiguous and at uncertain times. This is never the case 100%. So be crystal clear on what you do know, what is not going to be changing, and give something for your team to grasp a hold of. That's something that you want to definitely do. Um, many times it's like, well, we don't know anything. Oh, no, we don't know anything. So if you're in a time of crisis, if you're in a time of uncertainty and nothing is clear, people are automatically going to go into panic mode because nothing is clear. I will say, and adding into number 2 is put yourself in the shoes of the person that you're talking to. It's uncertain for you. You had your freak out moment. Consider that on a human level so you can present clearly what people need, even if you have to write it out and do what you need to do. Number 3, know what you collectively know as a team and know what you don't know. And how you do that is when you put your heads together with your team, you know more than you think collectively, maybe not individually. Take the time to exercise as a team. Resist the urge to only focus on what you already know. Write down what you already know, but then add to the list as each person speaks. Based on what each person knows or suspects, because in times of uncertainty, there's always scuttlebutt. I worked at an organization where we said the rumors always wind up being true. So when we hear things, it's like it's a rumor, it always winds up being true. So talk to them about what they're hearing. Write it down, brainstorm, and gather more information in the areas that are uncertain and the things that you don't know. So do some fact finding. Give people assignments to find out more information to investigate. If you have information that you're trying to find out about COVID, investigate that and find out exactly what you need to know. Number 4, don't switch up all the time. If you need to change direction, do it boldly. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. It's like a ship without a sail. That means you're going and swaying every time the wind blows you in a certain direction or the sea moves in a certain direction. You have no control if you're constantly moving from idea to idea. So when you make decisions, you want to stop second guessing them. Stop second guessing them out loud. Stop second guessing them in front of the team. If you need to change course, because there are times that you do need to change course, do it boldly with strong communication and explanation to your team. The worst thing you can do is switch directions and not give the team information on why you're switching gears. They'll start to lose confidence in you as a leader. They'll start to think that you don't know what you're doing. And otherwise, keep the boat sailing swiftly towards the direction that you need it to go. Okay? So if you don't need to change direction, just keep things going, keep things moving in the direction that you're going. Okay? If you need to change your mind, because again, as the leader, you're the watchman, you're the one in the little bucket back in the days where they had the person in the bucket looking and seeing what's ahead of you. So when you see what's going on, make sure that you are clear on why you are making the change so you don't frustrate your team. Okay? The worst thing you want to do is frustrate your team, especially in times of uncertainty. Number 5, encourage risk taking. Okay? Encourage your team to take calculated risks. Even if you have reacted poorly to mistakes or people taking risks and them not panning out the way they should, admit that to your team and promise that you will support them taking a calculated risk. If you have no risk, you have no gain. But sometimes that's why it's a risk. A risk does not always pan out. So support them in taking the risk. And if it doesn't pan out, sit down and have a discussion with them to find out what happened, because there's always a reason why something happened. To support them in that decision, support them in the taking, keep on taking risks, because there's a lesson learned in everything, even in the risk taking. Okay, promise them that they will have your support in the things that they do. The worst thing you want to do is have your team not trust that they can take risks, not trust that they can do what they need to do to make things stay afloat. Place whatever parameters around them and checkpoints so you can feel comfortable in the world of them taking the risk, but allow space for them to be creative and to think critically and think innovatively so things can move.